Thanks for staying with 5 Live. Is the state of Karnataka about to enter another phase of political instability or speculation? Political Nataka in the state apparently continues because a BJP MLA has now alleged that some sitting ministers in the BJP government who had earlier defected from the Congress to the BJP last year, in fact in 2020, are planning to turn around 180 degrees and go right back to the Congress party. Former Chief Minister and Congress leader Siddaramaiah has also claimed that he is in touch with some JDS and BJP MLAs. All of this when assembly elections in the state are happening next year. Could this bring down the government or is that a stretch? Take a look. Is Karnataka doomed to another period of political instability? Jibes, counterattacks, and an intense operation apparently in full swing. The opposition Congress has dropped a big political bombshell, triggering more Nataka in the BJP's sole southern bastion. Aiming for a comeback in the 2023 State Assembly election, former Chief Minister and Congress leader Siddaramaiah claims that a few JDS and BJP MLAs have been in touch with him and may rejoin the Congress party.
ಸಂಪರ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿರೋದು ನಿಜ, ಹೆಸರುಗಳು ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. ಸಂಪರ್ಕದಲ್ಲಂತೂ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಅವರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, JDS ನವರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
Operation Hasta refers to the defection of BJP and JDS party members to the Congress as opposed to Operation Kamala, which is the reverse. In fact, BJP MLA Basangouda Patil Yatnal alleged that some sitting ministers of the Karnataka government who had defected from the Congress to the BJP in 2020, bringing down the JDS Congress coalition, was said to be rejoining the Congress soon. All this comes amidst calls for expanding the state cabinet with 4 vacant berths. Interestingly, Congress MLAs, including Yatnal, had met Chief Minister Bommai seeking a cabinet expansion. Demanding a cabinet berth, they said that the expansion needs to be done immediately, keeping an eye on the polls next year.
Yatnal ticket book ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ DK Shivakumar ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಬುಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಾರ, ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಬುಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಾರ. ಮತ್ತು ಅವರೇ ಮುಂದುವರಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದರೆ BJP ಅದು ಕುಳಿತದೆ.
BJP MLA Renukacharya too has admitted that he had asked the party to be made a minister.
ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಬಸವರಾಜ ಬೊಮ್ಮಾಯಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕಳೆದ ವಾರ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾನು ಸಚಿವ ಸ್ಥಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅರುಣ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಇಂದ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
Quashing rumors about dissent, Chief Minister Bommai says that he had spoken to all ministers and MLAs and that they all stand together to work for the people and nobody is leaving the BJP.
ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಚಿವರ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಅಸಮಾಧಾನ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಕ್ಕಟ್ಟಾಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಒಂದಾಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸರ್ಕಾರವನ್ನು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಸೂಕ್ತವಾಗಿ ಜನರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಲು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಿ ಭದ್ರಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ.
Chief Minister Bommai also said that the leadership of the party will take a call on cabinet expansion soon. India Today learns that a few new faces are likely to be inducted into the cabinet and a few senior members could be dropped. They will reportedly be given party roles and a few defecting MLAs who are now ministers could be dropped as well.
Well, it looks like the famed and very popular Operation Lotus of the Karnataka BJP is slowly being overtaken by Operation Hasta by the Congress in Karnataka. But Chief Minister Basaraj Bommai claims that all is well in the party and that the government is very, very stable. With video journalist Madhuar, Nolan Pinto for India Today.
And let me go to Nolan Pinto, who's broken this story from Karnataka. Nolan, sense of deja vu really, and I'm sure you're feeling it too over what we're seeing play out. But on a serious note, Basangouda Yatnal is a politician who has made many claims in the past which have not really come true. So, he has a bit of a dubious reputation for making extravagant claims. But is there something to be worried about for the Bommai government here? That there could be a reverse Operation Kamala or an Operation Hasta as he's talking about?
Shiv, let's put it this way. My sources in the party tell us that these are but pressure tactics. For a long time, Basangouda Patil Yatnal and Renukacharya have been trying to become ministers. There are 4 cabinet berths vacant. during Yediyurappa's time when he was the chief minister also, we have seen how Yatnal came out with a lot of, a lot of statements. Renukochari also did the same. And now with Bommai being the chief minister, they are doing the same. Sources in the party tell us these are pressure tactics being put on the chief minister to make sure that they too get a berth. But let's put it this way. It's not to say that many leaders from other parties are not jumping in. DK Shivakumar has been bringing a lot of JDS leaders, especially from the southern belt of Karnataka, into the Congress's fold. Siddaramaiah has also been talking, this is what our sources tell us, to a large number of leaders. It's not to say that BJP MLAs are not already speaking to Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar. It is happening. Basangouda, Patil, Yatnal, and he's a very seasoned politician. So he also makes sense when he says, if the cabinet expansion does not take place, if fresh faces are not brought in and those who are not working are actually dropped, then the chances of the BJP actually diminish as we go throughout the year, because Karnataka will go to the polls in next year.
Okay, pressure tactics or something, deeper. There's not very much time to maneuver because the assembly elections in Karnataka are tentatively for around April, May next year. That's when the 5-year term actually ends. It's been a very, very turbulent 5 years since 2018. There has been a Congress JDS government. Now there is a BJP government. There have been a lot of defections in between. And are we basically about to see the next phase of defections? Nolan, thank you very much for that. Joining me live from Bengaluru this evening, Lavanya Ballal, Congress spokesperson, Vivek Reddy, spokesperson of the BJP. Welcome to the both of you. Thank you for your time. Lavanya, what are you making of this? What's cooking, Lavanya? Basangouda Patil, is an MLA who has made certain claims before. How is the Congress looking at his claims that there's going to be a mass reverse flow from the BJP into the Congress?
See, Yatnal is a very senior MLA of BJP, and there has always been discontent in the BJP. The current form of BJP in Karnataka is a coalition of KJP, which was formed by Yediyurappa-ji, and there was one party formed by Mr. Reddy also. All of these parties have come together, and they are the form of the current dispension or the BJP in the state. There has been a lot of discontent within the BJP about how the ministerial berths were distributed among the old-time BJP MLAs and the people who had joined BJP after that. BJP needs to put its house in order, first of all, and also see there is a changing tide in the state as the elections are coming closer. The people's opinion has been changing and is more favorable towards the Congress, and it looks like in the upcoming elections Congress will see a thumping majority. So that could be one of the reasons why the BJP leaders are looking at defecting from BJP to the Congress. And like our PCC president has said, it's too early to comment about the whole issue right now.
But how does this, Lavanya, how does this tie in with people like Mr. Shivakumar and others saying that we are in touch with many people, in the BJP and in the government right now? Is this basically what Yatnal is talking about? Operation Hasta?
Let me rephrase that. There is no Operation Hasta from the Congress side. Basically, it is the BJP which has got a lot of discontented MLAs within them who are in touch with our leaders. That is the fact. There are a lot of leaders from BJP and JDS who are in touch with Congress party. It's not that the Congress party is actively seeking at bringing in leaders from other parties.
Okay, understood. Vivek Reddy, the BJP government in Karnataka was formed thanks to the discontent of certain people who are willing to switch over to your side. It looks like it's going to happen in reverse, at least as far as Mr. Yatnal is concerned. You can dismiss this as pressure tactics. You can dismiss it as, Mr. Yatnal basically trying to flex muscle because he wants to become a minister. But the stakes are very high because the elections are now just over a year away.
Well, Shiv, I don't think there is any such influx or efflux as prophesized by Mr. Yatnal. Perhaps it may be a tactic to, arm twist for a ministerial berth. And one thing is, a single swallow doesn't make a summer. If one person just chirps and tweets, I don't think it is. It indicates the emergence of a mass efflux or a mass influx. I don't think that is the status, and I don't go by the prediction of or analysis of Lavanya also, that many people from BJP and JDS are in touch. I think Congress is a divided house. People know there is such a deep division and friction within Congress for leadership.
But Vivek, we are not talking about the Congress here. Right now, we're talking about the government. The Congress is a separate, the Congress is a separate issue. The first half of my show today was about the Congress implosion with RPN Singh. But the story right here is someone within your party right now saying there is a problem and that people want to leave.
No politician in his right senses would be willing to go to a house that is imploding. Would be willing to go into a house such as Congress, which is breaking within. I don't think there is any necessity to go there, or there is any tendency or attraction to go there, because Congress is as it is in Karnataka. Congress is getting reduced to the minimum, and it is going to be disastrous for their political career if they choose to go to Congress. That's why BJP is the party to be in. Bommai's leadership is stable, and it is going ahead and winning the next elections.
No question.
No need for anybody to move into the Congress at all.
No question of instability. Why would anyone go from the Bommai government, which is stable, into a faction-ridden Karnataka Congress, is what Vivek Reddy says. Lavanya, respond.
I would like to remind Mr. Vivek Reddy this exact attitude of disrespect towards a senior BJP MLA, Yatnal, and BJP has been continuously disregarding his requests and his demands. Mr. Yatnal earlier also had complained about how ministers of BJP are not accessible to him. Let me remind Mr. Vivek Reddy, Yatnal is a BJP MLA who has not been able to access the ministers from the BJP government, and Mr. Yatnal has been continuously humiliated by the BJP, and his concerns have been disregarded. Is it very surprising that when leaders are treated like that within the BJP, that they are thinking that Congress is a good alternative for them? Mr. Reddy, you are accusing us of being a divided house. There's no problem within Congress. We are a united front. I don't know what you're talking about. You're making up stories. So it is your BJP party which is right now splitting in all different directions. It is facing so many accusations of scam and scandals. Let me remind you, sir, your tenure of ruling the state this time around has been mired with scandals, scams, and incompetence.
Okay. Vivek, one final...
What sort of a...
Yeah, no, you can answer that, but also answer my question, which is that with Basangouda Yatnal, it seems a bit of a case of the tail wagging the dog. He's always making these claims that seems to set the news agenda as far as Karnataka is concerned. And then the BJP government there is left to deny or clarify or say, no, there's nothing wrong. Is your government even engaging with Basangouda Yatnal? After all, he is a BJP MLA.
Well,
it smacks of indiscipline if someone from your own is constantly going to the public and saying, my government is going to fall.
Yeah.
Well, people know what Basangouda Yatnal is. I don't think BJP as it is has to come and give a clarification on what Yatnal is. And if Congress wants to assess the political climate or the political weather based on the weathercock like Basangouda Yatnal, I don't think that would be, I think we'll be very comfortable and it will be safe for them to make that analysis. As a political opponent, I don't think Basangouda Yatnal can decide where the political swing is or where the political weather is.
Basangouda Yatnal has... Yeah, finish your point.
There is no question of any scam or all these allegations in the air. These are all, political accusations. Please know that people are still aware of what a nightmarish government the Congress ran for 1.5 years with Kumaraswamy. And what a nightmarish government Congress had for 5 years before that of Siddaramaiah. And
good thing,
Mr. Basaraj Bommai is a far better option compared to these leaders. I think any man in right senses will choose Mr. Bommai and not these leaders.
We'll have to see, where this story actually goes. Is it going to be another flash in the pan, another shot in the dark by Basangouda Yatnal like many times before, or is there more substance to it? As I said, we are close to the elections, so the stakes are exponentially higher than they usually are maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Lavanya and Vivek, great to see you. Thank you for being with me here on this brief discussion on my show. Thanks. national channel to take up the story of a 17-year-old girl in Tamil Nadu's Thanjavur who died by suicide after saying in her dying declaration on video that she was bullied and forced to convert to Christianity. The BJP staged a protest in Chennai amidst a huge political storm of claims and counterclaims over whether there is even a conversion angle. Meanwhile, DMK leader Kanimozhi has alleged that the BJP is using the child's death for politics and creating disharmony in the state. The Madras High Court has also ordered the person who shot that dying declaration video to appear for an inquiry and submit his mobile phone. And I want to acknowledge here in India Today, it's great to see other channels picking up the story after India Today decided to do so.
Coercion, harassment, and now politics. On the 19th of January, a case of death by suicide came to the fore from Tamil Nadu's Thanjavur, sending shockwaves across the country. A 17-year-old class 12th student residing in a boarding school in a convent in Thanjavur ended her life by consuming pesticide. In her dying declaration, the minor victim revealed she was constantly harassed by the hostel warden to convert to Christianity.
யார்கிட்ட கேட்டாங்க? எப்ப கேட்டாங்க? 2 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி. அப்ப மாறாதனால உனக்கு வந்து தொந்தரவு பண்ணு.
ஹாஸ்டல் வாட தாச்ச முடியாம என் மகன் தற்கொலை பண்ணிக்கிச்சு. வீட்டு வேலை செய்யறது, மதம் மாற சொல்றது, தோட்டம் கழுவுறது, தண்ணி ஊத்துறது, சமைக்கிறது போறது எல்லா கொடுமையும் தாங்க முடியாமல் மதம் மாற சொல்லி டார்ச்சர் பண்றாங்க. அதனால தொந்தரவு தற்கொலை பண்ணிக்கிச்சு. அங்கேயே கலைக்குள்ளே மருந்து கலக்கி குடிச்சிருச்சு.
மதம் மாற சொல்லி சிஸ்டர் ஹாஸ்டல்ல இருக்கிறவங்க, ஸ்கூல்ல வேலை பார்க்கறவங்க எல்லாரும் சேர்ந்து மதம் மாற சொல்லியே கொன்னுட்டாங்க. எங்க பொண்ணே போயிடுச்சு. அவங்கள அரெஸ்ட் பண்ற வரைக்கும் நாங்க வீட்டுக்கு போக மாட்டோம். நாங்க யாருமே பாடியை வாங்க மாட்டோம். பொண்ணே போயிடுச்சு. இனிமேல் அதை வாங்கி நாங்க என்ன பண்றோம்?
While the warden of the hostel was arrested, Tamil Nadu police claimed there was no conversion angle or coercion in the case.
நாங்க TMCH police stationல ஒரு கேஸ் போடுறோம். Whoever is responsible for this video is going to be added as an accused in that case, and we are going to take very stern action regarding this. பேரண்ட்ஸ் சர்ப்பில் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் ரிப்போர்ட் கொடுத்த ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் தான் நம்ம கிட்ட இருக்கு. அவங்க கொடுத்த ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்ல இப்போ they have not given any angle of conversion.
The distraught family accepted the girl's body after an order from Madras High Court. The Madurai bench of the Madras High Court has ordered the person who took the death declaration video of the student to appear before police officials to authenticate the video. The BJP targeted the DMK government, alleging inaction and silence on the alleged plot to convert minor students in school. After Thanjavur, the BJP staged protests in Chennai.
Demand is very clear, sir. One, we want an immediate CBI investigation into the whole matter so that the whole criminal nexus comes out. Right behind what has happened, the 2 years what has happened in the school. And secondly, we want an immediate compensation for the family, 1 crore, and we are demanding a government job also. Third, we believe this is a tip of an iceberg. Tamil Nadu wants an act against forced religious conversion.
The DMK was quick to hit back, accusing the BJP of communalizing the incident.
They are trying to create politics and disharmony here. Tamil Nadu has always been a secular state. We've upheld secularism in Tamil Nadu, and we've all lived together as one. The child has died, and it's such a big trauma for the family. And using this in such a way is very, very sad.
Reacting to the incident for the first time, Tamil Nadu Education Minister Anbil Mahesh said that stringent action will be taken against the culprits responsible for the girl's death. He also said that investigation so far has not revealed any links on religious conversion and that a thorough probe will take place.
whatever may be the reason or who is going to be behind this thing, definitely we need to get the justice for this student. Definitely, if there is anything like these groups they are talking, like if anything is true on that one, definitely we'll take a stringent action on who are the people involved in this one.
As Tamil Nadu BJP has conducted multiple protests claiming that the girl died due to religious conversion pressure based on a 44-second clip. For the first time in a week, the DMK government has reacted, and the state education minister says that this is an extremely sensitive matter and should not be politicized, but however, all angles will be probed. With videos, Divya, Pramod Madhav, Point HD.